I'm going to demonstrate the microservices uh, system. So actually, I've done the analytics and the platform integrations microservice and the mind, strangled mind. So mine doesn't have this analytics or integration scope, and I'm quite confident of how this works now. So I'll just give a demo first, and then I'll walk you through other things. So so you log in. So I think I have kind of hijacked Tanmai's user ID, and it's going to log in. Okay. So the first integrations code gets launched here. Uh, so 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 I kind of use Tanmai's account, which is pretty busy account. So he's not worked with the Shopify and all, but yes, he has connected with Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, Mailchimp, Klaviyo. So yeah, so basically these are coming from the database as such. So that's one thing, and then I'll just show you the other page where it's analytics. So Facebook, I do get the pages, but none of the pages have data. So the I think these organic posts and the demographics, there's no data. Similarly, Instagram, I do get the accounts. Again, there's no data. And I can show you that pretty much. Look at the network. Damn. Let's refresh this. If I see the metrics, see the header, it is going to Facebook metrics, but response is, yeah, number of pages is zero. So I have to kind of figure out how to create these things. But essentially, the code is working. The microservice is working. And rest of the code, as usual, the dashboard will work. Uh, so this is all coming from the existing mind campaigns. Okay. Okay, so things should work. There's no code change there. And then you got the media library. So these are all not touched. I don't think Shopify is connected. So show you the analytics and the file works, payment, subscriptions work, and organizations as well. So the whole application is working. So let me go back to my demonstration sets. So basically, there are the infra microservices. There's the analytics microservice, the platform integrations microservice, and the mind. And I've created two scaffolds, one for Java and one for Kotlin to keep them alive. So if we go to my admin page, so this is the Eureka. This is the Eureka service. Eureka is a Spring Cloud service developed by actually Netflix. It's a commonly used discovery service panel. So you can see the API gateway is running on 8082, and the configuration server, which is centralized configuration for the backend, is running on 808 8888, and then there is a the mind is running on 8081. Usually it runs on 8080. I put one different port. Analytics is running on 9091 and integrations are 92. So just click on this. We'll show you the health. For example, I can put the health. I think okay, it says clearly it says up, and similarly I can say 9091. I can show you analytics also is up. As far as the configs, you can see all the configs loaded. I think it's an 8.8. Okay, see the default config say for analytics, blue uh, analytics microservice. So you can see the config is loaded. No, it's up and running. The default, I will put default, right? It's running, so it's up. And then I can put the same as say I'm running on my local laptop, so that is also kind of. up and running. So the profile is local. Okay, so yeah, so that's mainly the infrastructure. Uh, the this is the config server. This is the config server, and I've shown you that config server is running here 888, and this is the API gateway, and then the discovery server. This itself is running on 8761, and all of them have this actuator, health, environment, info, config. So we'll put a dashboard eventually combining all this. We have a shop for that. So I've shown you that. Similarly, scaffolds I have. I can just bring it up and just show you how it works. So I'll just go up to my. I'll just say like run and have compounded configuration. So this will just launch. Um, so it's running the scaffolds. So this is the Java scaffold, and so the it started the scaffold for Kotlin and the scaffold for Java is started. If you go to the Eureka server, you should see them launched here. So you got the scaffold. So this is useful generally to just copy paste and start developing a new microservice quickly. So I'll put all the authentication, access tokens, user, and the common, lot of tons of common other things, objects. I'll put part of it's already part of this. So just we have to just copy paste this and start a new microservice, move it from the mind or whatever, create a new microservice. So I've shown you that. I've shown you these three things, and I've shown you the demo of that. So there are other pages also I've showed you. Now I'm going to show you that again the same the UI. Uh, Actually, I'll show you it is going via the API gateway. So for example, if I go personal, so if I go to F12, I can show you my network. So let's start that. So if you see my API gateway is running on 8082. So all the URLs should go through 8082. For example, brands. So if it's the header, it's going through 8082. So it's not going through 8081. You see, mind is running on 8081, but actually it clearly shows you the call is going with the 8082 API. Similarly, I show you organization. So if this is all, as you know, it's coming from the platform. So if you see platform is running on 9092, but you'll clearly see it goes through via say like Google, which goes through 8082, which is the API gateway, and the context path is platform integrations. Similarly, you'll see for MailChimp and all the other things, Pinterest. So platform integrations. Now let me show the same thing with analytics. So So if you look at the metrics, it is going through 8082 again the gateway and analytics. So clearly all the calls are going through the gateway. Um, and then I'll just show one in Postman to prove that. For example, so this is just checking whether the integration is done or not. So if you see it's going through 8082, okay, and the context path is this. So this is we're going with the gateway, okay. And if I do the same thing via, I think it's 9092 is the actual integrations, right? Suppose 9092. I'll just put 90, it should work. Okay, it works. Okay, so that's the main thing. And then what else to demonstrate? I'll show one thing on the Swagger. So if you see like platform integrations, Swagger also works. So you got the whole platform integrations APIs you can test from here. So you got the external integrations, all the APIs. Similarly, I can do 9091 analytics. So analytics also works. And I think I can do it from 8082 as well. my through my gate. So it's not a so permissions are denied, so I can't come through the gateway. Okay, sorry. I think when I wrote it on the gateway. Pretty much is not a so gateway restricts any access to the backend ports or extra ports or extra paths. So I only allow slash API. So the gateway is clearly blocked showing the swagger. But if I go internally 091, I should be able to get. Okay, so that's pretty secure. So and the last thing I want to show is the code base and the configs. So yeah, so I do have the discovery service, config server, and the API gateway as the core infra. All of them are done using Spring Cloud, and all of them use the same Spring Cloud version and the same Spring Boot framework version. That's a condition. And then you can see this analytics code. Clearly, it won't have any. So it'll have just the analytics. So look at the controllers, it'll have just the analytics controllers. And similarly, if you look at the infrastructure, it'll have only analytics stuff. And the common stuff I showed you last time, it's got neatly done. And this will be reusable across copy paste kind of reusable because microservices should not share any code at all. And then similarly, I have and you can see the config for the it's the most minimal config. So this is the this is the, and this is the see this is the, for the local. So local I'm running on it. So this is what the config server is. So all of the microservices will have only just these two very basic simple, just enough information to say, I am this, I am an analytics microservice, and my configuration is stored on my config server. So, and similarly, if you see the integrations, the same thing. So I am platform integrations, and I got run my configs there. And if you look at the code, it's similar to the common stuff. It has auth and user and all that, and it's got rest of the, for example, the web. If you look at platform integrations, it's got all the controllers. It's to the connect and all that, or integrating stuff. So that's pretty much. And the last thing I want to show you here is the configs. So all the configs in the system are stored in a centralized location. So this is the default application. So this everything finally goes down to this. So if I have local, so I have a local say analytics integrations. I put all the integrations config here. This is local, so it runs on my laptop. Similarly, you can do for QA and dev and so on. And but the default it picks up the default values from here, and if it's not finding here, it will find in the most default position application. So, and in reality, in production QA, for example, in production, we would not load it off the local VM drive folder. We would actually directly load this from the Git. So the config server has this ability to load the configurations. So if it's so as of now, I'm saying this is the config server, the cloud config, and I'm using native. That is it is from my folders. So similarly, if I just put it's of native, I put URI, it'll come from Git. So next step is to actually to set up the QA system.